information. If you have a team, they need to be using first the health supplements. The basic one and the most important one is 3NN. Why? Because 3NN creates a foundation of good nutrition. If your cells are not absorbing the nutrients, most of it goes to the toilet. So using the products, 3NN, LDC for cleaning, then you can add other products, omega-3, CalMag, multimineral, all those products. So the first thing about our business is using the products. The next thing about the basics of our business is retailing products. What does that mean? Or another word for it is sharing products. I remember when we started the business, one of our distributors, we used to use the word sharing products. And what he understood is that you actually give the products free of charge. So we need to be very clear that sharing the products means you retail products to people who are not in the business or are not interested in becoming business builders or distributors. So we need to retail products. I would recommend 6 to 8 to 10 customers who buy from you. The more customers who buy from you, the better. Okay, so retailing products. What are the key things you need to do to retail products? One, you need to have product knowledge. It simply means that as you go about your daily activity, talking to people, you will meet people who give you different needs. They will tell you from their stories, from their backgrounds. They will complain. Two things, in fact, people complain about most of the time: lack of money and lack of good health. Those two things people complain a lot about. So if you have product knowledge, that leads you to the next thing you need to do to retail products is listening to customers. That means you need to listen to what people are saying. Example, a friend of yours comes to visit you, and he's an old friend, they're not in the business, and they start telling you, you know, my son is really having a challenge. He doesn't eat properly. He's fidgety at school. He doesn't pay attention. I don't know what to recommend. Before you say the products you need to recommend, listen first to the whole story. Ask, what do you mean that he doesn't pay attention? What are his sleeping patterns? What is his diet like? What does he eat? Eventually, your friend will tell you all the things that are going on around their child. That's when you need to recommend. By the way, I think that if you need to give your child supplements. Why? Because a child's body grows very, very, very quickly. The multiplication of cells in their body is very, very rapid. And that is the time they need to have very good nutrition so that they have proper organ development. Okay, so 2 products for children: BetaGuard, VitaSquares. VitaGuard and VitaSquares. VitaSquares is the equivalent of Formula 4 or 3NN. VitaGuard is the equivalent of carotenoid complex, is an immune booster. So those are the 2 products you can recommend to children. Or a friend of yours comes and says, you know, I've been having a lot of pain in my knee for such a long time. I've gone to the doctor, they tell me about arthritis, but I've been taking are you using? Is it on the knee or is it on other joints of the body? Ask as many questions as possible so that you get a proper picture of your friend's condition. And then ask, if it's arthritis, is it rheumatoid or is it osteoarthritis? Once they tell you, that's when you recommend the products. Say, if it's osteoarthritis, I want to recommend two or three products. One is called omega-3. It helps to reduce inflammation. And then you also need CalMag to strengthen your bones. And then you need full motion. Full motion repairs the cartilages on the joints. That's important of having product knowledge customers. And once they've bought products, keep in touch with them. Call them after a week and find out how they're doing. Then get to know your customers. What is their birthday, their family members. The more knowledge or information you have about your customers, the more they're going to refer other people to you. So that's about the second thing about the basics, that is retailing customers. Then the most important thing you need to concentrate your effort on is sponsoring or recruiting people. Recruiting means bringing people into the business. Sponsoring means bringing them and supporting them to grow their business. That's the meaning of sponsoring. Sponsoring is a process. It is not an event. A process which you take through every prospect until they become a distributor and until they become self-sufficient. It means they can do the business in your absence. So, what is the sponsoring process? Step number 1, write a name list or a prospect list. 200 or more people. Why? Not everybody is going to do this. Will some say no? Yes, some will say no. A few will say yes. Okay? Will some people give you excuses or tell you you're wasting your time? Yes, you will get all sorts of things in the business. So, name list, write 200 names. Step number 2 is you need to prepare to do the inviting correctly. It means posture and confidence. In the beginning, you may not be very confident in inviting people to look at the business, but nothing beats practice. You need to practice inviting people. Invite people correctly. And the way to invite people is very simple. Call the person, ask them if they have time to talk, tell them why you are calling them, and invite them to look at the business, either to watch a video or a magazine or attend a presentation. There are various ways you can invite people to look at the business. Okay, in a further training, we will go through the inviting formula, because it's very important to invite people correctly to look at your business. The key to success in our business is learning how to invite properly. Once you've learned how to invite, the next thing is learn to tell your story. Why is this important? Because people relate with stories. You see, one of the most effective ways of teaching is telling stories. And telling a story has got 4 sections or 4 parts, which is very easy to master in 3 or 4 minutes. Step number 1, telling your prospect or people what you did before you joined or how your life was like. Number 2, how you came to join the business. Number 3, what are the benefits that you've gained either from the products or from the business itself. Number 4, how does the future look like? Very simple. If you do that over and over again, it will be very easy to tell your story. Example. Before Betty and I joined the business, I was working with a consulting engineering company in Pretoria, and I was concerned because my salary was not able to meet our family needs. Secondly, Betty was unable to get a job in South Africa. Being a science teacher, she couldn't get a job because she needed to know Afrikaans. Let me tell you. Okay, so and because of that, we began to search for something to do. And then one day, Betty's friend called her and asked her if she'd like to start a business from home, where she can build a business without leaving the home and taking care of the family. Betty went for the meeting. When she came back, she was very excited, and I asked her, how is the business done? She didn't quite understand the process, but she told me, I think we can do it. Because the speaker that evening was somebody who was in a similar situation like ourselves. Took us two days to decide. We joined the business. But after 7 months of doing the business part-time, I equaled my salary, and that's when I decided to take a serious look at the business. And we made the business a full-time career. And I think for us, the future is very, very exciting because it's a business that enabled me to go full-time, being able to leave my employment. It has given time for Betty and myself to be full-time parents. So I see it very exciting. That is the way you tell your story. And then the last thing about sponsoring, you need to follow up and close. What does that mean? After somebody has seen the business, you need to ask a few questions. Number 1, did the business make sense? The whole explanation of the products and the business. If the person says, no, it didn't make sense, then say, what part of it didn't you understand? You understood about the product side. They may say, yes, I understood. Okay, let me explain about the business side. Take a few minutes to explain. If they say, yes, it made sense, next question is, what did you like most about the presentation? Either the business or the products or a little bit of both. That question elicits the prospects to look at the positive thing they found in the business. What did you like most about the presentation? Then they will tell you what they like the most. Then the next thing is, do you see yourself becoming a distributor or joining us in this wonderful journey? If you say, yes, I see, next question is, when do you want to get started? This is the application form. This is the amount you need to get started. When can you get you started? Okay. It's important to ask those 4 questions because it helps. You see, the average person is not used to making decisions. So you need to guide them to make a decision whether to join or not, or to be product user. That is a sponsoring process. That is part of the basics. The basics, retailing products, sponsoring, and helping our team to grow. But that becomes only possible if you have daily activity, if you are involved in income-producing activities. Income-producing activities are simply things you do to talk to other people, customers or prospects, or both. Okay? So income-producing activities, we would suggest speak to 10 people every day. If you're part-time, just make sure, if it's 2 people you're speaking to, make sure it is 2 people. If it's 3 people, 3 people. If it's 10 people. The idea is being consistent in speaking to people. And then the next thing is learn how to build structure. This is a topic for a later session. The other thing I want to talk about is sharpening the saw. What does that mean? Sharpening the saw simply means you need to take part in something to improve yourself on a daily basis. Show me what you do every day. I will show you where you'll be in 5 years. Okay, so the marketing plan in our business, all the same. The products we have in our business is the same. Where you buy products, the market we're in is the same. What is the difference between the people who succeed or not? The difference is you. That's where the success is. So I would suggest 3 areas which you need to concentrate on every day to build yourself. The first one is your attitude. What is your attitude? Your attitude is a mindset. The way your mind is set for success. Do you look for the problems in things, or do you look for solutions? In fact, a very simple way to know whether you have a positive mindset is, when you have a small challenge, how do you respond? What is your thought pattern? When you pick up the phone to call somebody, do you say, oh, maybe this guy is busy, or this guy, that's an indication that you have a limiting self-belief. So check your attitude. Your attitude is your reason for doing the business, and you improve your attitude by constantly listening to positive information and keeping good company. That is so important. And the reason for that is, if you want to be wealthy, keep company with wealthy people. If you want to be a leader, keep company with good leaders. It's a very simple concept. So check your attitude. The next thing is develop your skills. Learn how to do the business, the basics, how to build structure, how to support a team. Skill is what you do. Attitude is why you do it. Knowledge is how you do it. Okay? So attitude, skill, and knowledge. Knowledge about the products, knowledge about the business, knowledge about the compensation plan, knowledge about yourself, knowledge about your team. In fact, one of the most difficult things you will ever confront is a person you see in the mirror every day. Know thyself. Know your weaknesses. Know the things you are good at. Concentrate on those things. In fact, I think one of the keys to success in business, some people say that you need to concentrate only on the things you're good at. I don't agree with that principle, because it means that the day you are tested in the area where you're weak, you're going to collapse. Concentrate on all areas of your life, both what you're good at and what you're not good at, because when you build what you're not good at, that's when you begin to acquire excellence. And then keep your eyes on the future and past success, because sometimes we are tempted to keep our eyes on the things which are going wrong. Be careful about. So, the daily things you do to succeed: read to expand your knowledge, have a program of reading. Unless you set time every day to read 15 minutes, nothing will change. It may appear obvious, yes, I want to read, but have you set a time aside specifically to read? 2, read on product knowledge. Read on motivational things, for example, biographies or stories of success, stories of people who have overcome incredible odds. There are hundreds and hundreds of biographies which you can read from. Why biographies? Because it gives you a vocabulary for overcoming challenges. So read biographies, read stories of success. 3, read on business skills. The 7 steps of becoming a professional network marketer. Read something to improve your business skills. Read people skills, how to win friends and influence people. Read these books to improve the way you deal with people. This book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, was written in 1937. Is a masterpiece. Think and Grow Rich also was written around the same time, 1937, is a masterpiece. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success Through Selling, written also around 1937, very good, excellent book. So read books that help you improve yourself and learn about how to deal with customers and people. And then you need to build your body. You need to strengthen your body. Exercise. 30 to 45 minutes of brisk walking, running, lifting weights, stretching. Strengthen your body. The stronger your body is, the more you reduce the chances of falling ill, and the more productive you're going to become. And then keep your eyes to the future. If you do these basic things, you're sharpening the saw. It simply means you're building yourself. You build your mind, you build your attitude, you build your body. Once you do that, then you build your skills on how to relate with people. If you do that, you'll become a better person. And when you become a better person, something kicks in. And what is that? You attract people like yourself. The more successful you are, the more you attract the right people in your business. If you want to attract good leaders, if you want to attract people who work hard, do exactly what you're looking for in people. I think last week, Monday, we had I think most of you attended the session by Ashley Peebles from the US. Excellent, excellent. You will always find what you're looking for. So what are you looking for in people? If you're looking for leaders, become one, you will attract the leaders that you're looking for. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the few ideas I wanted to share with you. One is master the basics. Know what actually causes our business growth. It's talking to people to become customers, or talking to people to become distributors like yourself. Number 2, build yourself. Take time to read, take time to learn, take time to practice the skills you want to develop to sharpen the saw, because the sharper your saw, the more easily you can cut down trees. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending time with Betty and myself this evening. I wish you the very best in the coming week, and I hope you achieve your goals for the goals for the week that is coming ahead. Thank you and good night.